The air inside the federal courtroom was thick with tension. Every seat in the public gallery was occupied, journalists, business analysts, and onlookers all waiting to witness the final verdict in a lawsuit that had gripped the nation for months. At the center of it all sat Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur, tech visionary, and CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. Dressed in a sharp black suit, he appeared calm, almost amused, as if he already knew what was coming. Across from him sat the legal team representing a group of government regulators and corporate interests, their faces filled with quiet confidence. The case in question was a landmark legal battle. A coalition of powerful bureaucrats, backed by Wall Street titans, had accused Musk of violating economic stability regulations through his social media activity and business maneuvers. They claimed he had manipulated stock prices, disrupted market equilibrium, and posed a threat to corporate governance. But to Musk and his supporters, this was nothing more than a sham trial, a power play by the establishment to silence the one man they couldn't control. Judge Malcolm Richter, a longtime ally of the political elite, took his seat behind the bench. The courtroom fell into a heavy silence. The cameras from major networks like CNN, Fox, and CNBC zoomed in as he cleared his throat and began reading the verdict. After careful deliberation, this court finds Mr. Elon Musk guilty of reckless financial misconduct and willful disregard for regulatory authority, the judge declared. Gasps erupted throughout the courtroom. The Tesla and SpaceX executives in attendance exchanged worried glances. A few reporters, sensing a historic moment, began typing furiously on their laptops. The court hereby orders that Mr. Musk pay a fine of $10 billion in damages and resign from all executive positions in publicly traded companies. Furthermore, he shall be barred from holding leadership roles in any company for the next 10 years. A stunned silence filled the chamber. Even those who had expected a harsh ruling hadn't imagined something this extreme. But Musk? He simply smirked. He leaned back in his chair, resting one elbow on the table. While the entire courtroom processed the weight of the decision, Musk reached for his phone. His lawyer, a seasoned litigator named Julian Carter, leaned in, whispering, "Elon, we can appeal this. We can fight it." Musk chuckled, shaking his head. "Appeal? No, Julian. I'm about to end this whole charade." Without a word, he tapped out a tweet. "Nice try. But I don't play by corrupt rules. Watch what happens next." The courtroom buzzed as reporters saw the notification pop up on their phones. Social media erupted. Hashtag Musk versus the system shot to the top of trending topics within minutes. The judge's gavel slammed against the wooden desk. "Mr. Musk, I would advise you to take this ruling seriously," he warned. "Defying a federal court order will have severe consequences." Musk locked eyes with Judge Richter, his smirk never fading. "Judge, with all due respect," he said, his voice carrying across the silent courtroom, "you have no idea what you've just started." And with that, he stood up, adjusted his suit, and strode out of the courtroom, leaving the entire nation wondering what was Elon Musk going to do next. The moment Elon Musk stepped out of the courtroom, a swarm of reporters rushed toward him. Microphones and cameras aimed like weapons. "Mr. Musk, will you comply with the court order? Do you intend to step down as CEO? How do you respond to allegations that you're a threat to financial stability?" Musk didn't stop. He walked straight through the chaos, his face unreadable, his phone still in hand. Behind him, Julian Carter, his lawyer, struggled to keep up. "Elon, slow down," Julian urged as they entered a waiting Tesla Cybertruck, its matte silver body gleaming under the afternoon sun. "We need to strategize before making any rash moves." Musk slid into the driver's seat, ignoring the driver who was supposed to take him back to Tesla HQ. "Julian," he said, starting the engine, "this isn't about strategy. This is about war." The Cybertruck shot forward, leaving the stunned crowd behind. As Musk drove, his tweet from the courtroom had already set off a firestorm. Millions of supporters rallied behind him, decrying the ruling as the most blatant case of government overreach in history. Stock markets trembled, but Tesla and SpaceX investors held firm, knowing Musk wouldn't go down without a fight. Mainstream media painted him as a rogue billionaire, too powerful for his own good. And then came the next bombshell. Musk fired off another tweet. "If corrupt bureaucrats think they can take me down, they've severely underestimated me. Stay tuned." Within 10 minutes, Tesla's website displayed a cryptic countdown timer. What is Musk planning? News anchors speculated wildly. Analysts on CNBC and Bloomberg tried to predict his next move. But no one, not even his closest advisors, had any clue. Tesla's headquarters in Austin, Texas, was in a state of chaos. The board of directors had convened an emergency meeting. Half the members were panicking, the other half were on the verge of resigning. Elon, we have to comply with the court order, one director insisted. If you don't step down, they'll freeze company assets. Another director, a longtime ally of Musk, countered, we can't let this stand. If we bow down now, we're setting a precedent that the government can strip any CEO of power at will. Musk, seated at the head of the table, listened quietly. Then he leaned forward. Let me ask you something, he said. Who do you think actually runs Tesla? A judge in DC? Some regulators? Or me? The people who believe in this company aren't sitting in some courtroom. They're in our factories, on our teams, and in the millions of customers who support us. The people who believe in this company aren't sitting in some courtroom. They're in our factories, on our teams, and in the millions of customers who support us. So here's what we're going to do, Musk continued, his voice calm but commanding. We're not just going to ignore this ruling. He smirked. We're going to obliterate it. The directors exchanged nervous glances. One finally asked, how? Musk stood up. By showing them that the real power doesn't lie in courtrooms. It lies in the hands of the people. As he walked out of the meeting, he pulled out his phone once again and typed, tomorrow at noon, I make my next move. The establishment won't know what hit them. The tweet sent shockwaves through the world. What was Musk planning? And could the system stop him before it was too late? The countdown on Tesla's website ticked toward 0, and the world held its breath. At exactly noon, Elon Musk's next move was revealed. Not in a press conference, not in a court filing, but in the way he knew best, a tweet. Effective immediately, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company are now private. No more Wall Street manipulation. No more government interference. Just innovation. Buckle up. The internet exploded. Tesla and SpaceX investors panicked. Was this even possible? Musk had threatened to take Tesla private before, but now, right after a federal court ruling, regulators scrambled. Taking a trillion-dollar company off the public markets in a matter of hours was unheard of. Impossible even. But Musk had been planning this for years. Behind the scenes, he had orchestrated a massive private equity deal, leveraging his own wealth, along with investments from allies like tech billionaires, foreign investors, and even Tesla's most loyal shareholders. Within hours, all Tesla stock was suspended from trading. The SEC was blindsided. Wall Street power brokers, who had long bet against Musk, realized they had just lost control over one of the most powerful companies on Earth. And it wasn't just Tesla. SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company, all of which had been privately held before, now merged into a single entity, X Holdings. Musk wasn't just defying the court ruling. He was removing his empire from the government's reach entirely. Within minutes, Washington, D.C. was in chaos. The White House issued a statement calling Musk's move a direct challenge to federal authority. The SEC scrambled to declare the privatization illegal. Senators and congressmen, both Democrat and Republican, rushed to draft emergency legislation to stop Musk from consolidating power. On live television, a furious government regulator called Musk a dangerous individual who thinks he's above the law. In response, Musk simply retweeted the clip with a single word. Correct. Judge Malcolm Richter, the same judge who had ruled against Musk, was livid. The billionaire had openly defied his court order, turning a serious legal decision into a spectacle. Richter called an emergency hearing. Federal marshals were ordered to bring Musk into custody for contempt of court. But when they arrived at Tesla HQ in Austin, they found nothing. Musk was gone. In fact, he was already halfway across the world. At exactly 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Musk made his next move. From an undisclosed location, he streamed live to his 200 million-plus Twitter followers. Sitting in what appeared to be a futuristic-looking control room, he began speaking casually as if he wasn't currently the most wanted man in America. Let me get this straight, Musk said, smirking. The U.S. government is trying to arrest me for running my own companies the way I see fit? He shook his head. That's not how this works. He leaned forward. You see, I didn't build Tesla or SpaceX to play by your rules. I built them because the world needs innovation. And if corrupt judges and bureaucrats want to stand in the way of progress, then I have one simple response. The camera zoomed in. Come and get me. The feed cut out. Minutes later, another Musk tweet went live. X Holdings is now officially headquartered in a new jurisdiction. We are no longer under U.S. regulatory control. Details soon. The world was in shock. Where had Musk moved his empire? What did he mean by no longer under U.S. control? One thing was certain, Musk wasn't just fighting back against the system. He was rewriting the rules entirely. The world stood still. Elon Musk had just declared his empire independent of U.S. jurisdiction. Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company, now consolidated under X Holdings, were beyond the reach of Washington regulators. But how? The answer came in Musk's next tweet, posted just 5 minutes after his cryptic livestream. New HQ secured. The future belongs to those who build it. Attached to the tweet was a single image, a breathtaking aerial shot of a futuristic city rising from the ocean. The caption? X Sovereign, the world's first independent tech nation. The revelations came fast. Musk had been planning this for years. Using a combination of SpaceX technology, Tesla energy solutions, and Boring Company infrastructure, he had secretly constructed a floating city-state in international waters. Dubbed X Sovereign, this high-tech island was now the official headquarters of X Holdings. No longer bound by U.S. law, Musk and his companies were now operating under a new jurisdiction of their own making. The implications were earth-shattering. Tesla's board members, once panicked, now stood behind Musk. Loyal shareholders who had feared losing their investments now found themselves holding stock in the world's first trillion-dollar independent enterprise. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., the government lost its mind. A crisis meeting was held at the White House that very night. The president's top advisors, members of Congress, and financial regulators scrambled for a response. Can we shut down his operations? Someone asked. Impossible, a Pentagon official responded. Musk owns all the infrastructure. The satellites, the power grids, the factories, it's all his. Then what about seizing his U.S. assets? That might have worked before he went private, a Treasury official admitted. But X Holdings isn't a U.S. company anymore. We can freeze bank accounts, but he's already moved the money offshore. Then came the most chilling realization of all. A defense official cleared his throat. Sir, Musk controls Starlink. The room fell silent. Musk's private satellite network powered everything from military communications to global finance. If he wanted to, he could cut off entire governments from the internet. The president leaned forward, eyes dark. So you're telling me there's nothing we can do? A long pause. Then someone finally spoke. There's one thing left. The next morning, an international arrest warrant was issued for Elon Musk. The charges? Economic sabotage, corporate treason, unlawful defiance of a federal court order. The FBI, Interpol, and even intelligence agencies from multiple countries were mobilized. Musk was now a wanted man. But Musk, as always, was 3 steps ahead. While government scrambled, Musk remained untouched. He released another tweet. Innovation, bureaucracy. Let the people decide. X Sovereign is open for business. Entrepreneurs welcome. Attached to the tweet was a link to a registration portal. Within hours, over 5 million applications flooded in. Engineers, coders, scientists, and business leaders from every corner of the world applied for citizenship in X Sovereign. Musk wasn't just evading arrest. He was building the future. And the system? It was powerless to stop him. The world had never seen anything like this. Elon Musk had declared independence from the United States. He had built a floating tech nation, X Sovereign, beyond government control. And now, millions of the world's brightest minds were lining up to join him. The U.S. government, Wall Street, and global regulators were furious. But Musk? He was just getting started. Within 48 hours of Musk's announcement, the world's most powerful governments mobilized against him. The U.S. Navy sent ships toward X Sovereign under the guise of security monitoring. The SEC and Treasury Department froze what little U.S.-based assets Musk still had. The media launched a full-scale smear campaign, painting Musk as a tech tyrant who had gone mad with power. But Musk wasn't hiding. He went live on Twitter, standing on the deck of X Sovereign, the futuristic city gleaming behind him. Governments of the world, he began, I see you. And I have just one question. He smirked. Are you sure you want to do this? Then he turned, gesturing toward the sky. The camera panned upward, revealing the full power of Starlink. Thousands of satellites, visible as tiny dots in the night sky, now formed the most advanced private communications network in history. Cut me off from the financial system. Musk scoffed. Fine. I'll create my own. The camera zoomed in on a massive server farm behind him. Tesla-built quantum computers powered by solar energy capable of running a global blockchain network. Ladies and gentlemen, Musk continued, I give you X currency. The screen behind him flashed. X currency, a decentralized economy for the future. No banks. No governments. No borders. The world went into meltdown. Musk had just created his own digital financial system completely independent of traditional banks and regulators. And the kicker? He announced that every citizen of X sovereign would receive 10,000 X coins to start. Millions of people immediately signed up. And just like that, the President of the United States had had enough. At an emergency press conference, he issued a direct warning to Musk. Elon Musk is now a threat to global stability. If he does not surrender immediately, we will be forced to take military action. The world gasped. Was the US government seriously considering declaring war on a tech billionaire? Musk's response? A single tweet. You sure about that? Attached was a video feed from a SpaceX control center. The camera zoomed in on a massive rocket standing ready for launch. The screen displayed one word. Starshield activated. The world's intelligence agencies had suspected Musk was developing a space-based defense network. But no one thought he'd actually deploy it. Now, with X sovereign under threat, Musk made his final move. Starshield, an advanced orbital security system, was now fully operational. Its purpose? To protect X sovereign from cyber attacks. To defend against any military threats. To ensure that no government could ever again control the future of technology. The White House immediately backed down. Attacking X sovereign now meant risking a full-blown global crisis. And Musk knew it. He posted one final message. The future belongs to the people, not the bureaucrats. We're just getting started. Rocket. The world had changed. Governments lost their grip on technological control. Banks collapsed as millions flocked to X currency. And Musk? He didn't just win the battle. He rewrote the rules of the world. Elon Musk had destroyed the global financial order. Years later, historians would look back on this moment as the day the old world order fell. They would call Musk many things. A visionary. A madman. The most powerful man in history. But Musk himself? He just laughed. Because in the end, he had done exactly what he had always promised. I don't follow rules. I make my own. And the world would never be the same again.